Did you know that something as innocent as fruit could be silently undermining your health? Throughout our lives, we've been taught that fruits are nature's perfect food, packed with vitamins, antioxidants, and natural sweetness. Yet what's rarely discussed is that all fruits aren't equally beneficial, particularly as we grow older. For seniors beyond 60, our physiology transforms, metabolism decreases, digestion becomes more delicate, and glucose regulation grows increasingly unstable. The reality is, certain fruits, though beneficial for younger individuals, can quietly become harmful for older adults. Yes, harmful, excessive sugar, dangerous medication interactions, or hidden acidity. These can cause genuine damage if we aren't vigilant. Fortunately, there's an upside. Nature also provides health-enhancing fruits that boost cardiovascular function, combat inflammation, safeguard cognitive abilities, and even strengthen bones. Today, speaking as someone who's experienced life fully and researched these transitions for many years, I'm sharing the 4 fruits you should eliminate and the 4 you absolutely need to consume. Your well-being matters more. Let's address this directly. Before we begin, if you haven't already subscribed, please click that button and activate notifications so you'll always receive health advice tailored specifically for you. If this video proves valuable, comment with a 1 below. If not, enter 0 to help me create better content for your needs. The 4 harmful fruits seniors should avoid. 1. Grapefruit, the unseen threat for medication users. Initially, grapefruit appears harmless, even appealing. Its vibrant pink interior, invigorating tartness, and reputation for heart health have made it common on breakfast tables nationwide. However, for adults over 60, this fruit harbors a concealed and widely underestimated risk. Beneath its succulent appearance lies a biochemical danger that few discuss. A threat that silently interferes with the very medications keeping your heartbeat regular, your blood pressure controlled, and your stress managed. Grapefruit contains elements that inhibit a vital liver enzyme called CYP3A4, which metabolizes many common prescription medications used by seniors. When this enzyme is blocked, medications can accumulate to unsafe levels in your system, like water behind a barrier with nowhere to go. The results can be devastating: muscle deterioration from cholesterol drugs, potentially fatal cardiac arrhythmias, excessive bleeding from anticoagulants, or intensified effects from anti-anxiety medications. For those dependent on prescriptions for survival, this seemingly nutritious fruit could become a hidden killer. The unfortunate truth is that most older adults remain unaware. They consume grapefruit at breakfast and take their medications afterward, never making the connection until they're hospitalized. Some never survive to understand the cause. That's the consequence of trusting apparent health benefits without knowing the complete picture. This isn't about unnecessary alarm. It's about knowledge through lived experience. Grapefruit isn't inherently harmful, but for seniors taking medications, which includes over 70% of Americans above 65, it simply presents too great a risk. There are safer fruit options without endangering your cardiac health, liver function, or existence. But if grapefruit, despite its bright appearance, can conceal danger plainly, what other fruits might also seem safe while quietly undermining your health? Let's examine the next one. It's small, sweet, and surprisingly problematic when consumed excessively. If you're continuing to watch and finding these insights helpful, please comment 1 below to indicate you're following along. Now let's proceed to point 2. 2. Cherries. Sweet but problematic for arthritis and diabetes. Cherries so tiny, so delicious, and so deceptively benign. For many, they evoke summer memories, fresh baked pies cooling on windowsills, bowls at outdoor gatherings, and that satisfying sensation when removing the pit. But as we age, what once seemed like a treat may now silently compromise our health. You see, cherries, especially in significant quantities or concentrated forms like juices, dried products, and syrups, contain remarkably high natural sugar levels. A single cup of sweet cherries contains approximately 20 grams of sugar. For younger bodies with efficient metabolisms and stable insulin responses, this might not pose serious concerns. But for seniors with type 2 diabetes, prediabetes, or even undiagnosed insulin resistance, that sugar enters the bloodstream rapidly, causing spikes that gradually damage organs and leave us exhausted, mentally unclear, and susceptible. And the risk extends beyond sugar. Cherries are naturally acidic, and for older adults managing inflammation, arthritis, or joint discomfort, this acidity can exacerbate symptoms. Yes, fresh cherries provide antioxidants, but consumed excessively, especially processed varieties, the acidic and sugary content can have adverse effects. What you hoped would comfort your body might instead aggravate the very discomfort you're trying to relieve. And what's the consequence? Silent, progressive damage. You might not notice immediately, but the inflammation in your knees disrupting your morning walk, the blood sugar spike causing dizziness, the sleepless night from swollen joints, it's all interconnected. That bowl of cherries consumed with good intentions becomes a catalyst for discomfort, instability, and enduring harm. It's disheartening because cherries seem so safe. But the truth is, as we age, even sweetness deserves scrutiny. And if these small fruits can disrupt your equilibrium so dramatically, imagine the consequences when potassium levels spiral out of control from something far more common, something many seniors consume daily without hesitation. 3 bananas, excess potassium can be dangerous. Throughout most of our lives, bananas have represented health, simple, convenient, potassium-rich. We were informed they help prevent cramps, increase energy, benefit the heart, and for younger individuals that's potentially accurate. But as we age, our bodies process nutrients differently than before, and excessive amounts of beneficial elements can silently become problematic. Bananas contain abundant potassium indeed, but for seniors, particularly those with diminished kidney function, cardiac conditions, or taking hypertension medications like ACE inhibitors or potassium-retaining diuretics, this potassium can accumulate to hazardous levels. Your kidneys, once efficient filters, gradually become less effective. And that surplus potassium doesn't exit the body properly. It remains in your system, entering your bloodstream, disrupting your heart's rhythm, your muscles' ability to contract, and even your mental clarity. This condition, hyperkalemia, doesn't generate headlines, but annually sends thousands of seniors to emergency departments. Consuming too many bananas within a week can be sufficient. You might experience heart palpitations, leg weakness, or general discomfort. But once symptoms manifest, damage may already be occurring. And the consequence? A fruit intended to nourish instead risks compromising your stability, vitality, even your heartbeat. Most seniors never suspect bananas. They appear too basic, too wholesome. But simplicity can deceive, especially when your internal systems are more vulnerable than external appearances suggest. Before selecting another banana, consider, is this truly beneficial for my body? Or merely habitual? Because sometimes danger lies not in what we fear, but in what we presume harmless. Dried fruits, the concealed sugar trap. They're neatly packaged in convenient pouches appearing innocent, even wholesome. Raisins, dates, dried apricots, cranberries. We encounter them in trail mixes, scattered over breakfast cereals, or offered in medical waiting rooms as a healthier option. But for older adults, dried fruits frequently conceal a troubling reality. Behind their wrinkled exterior, there's sugar concentrates masquerading as nutrition. What many fail to understand is that during the drying process, water evaporates while sugars remain, now intensified in a much smaller portion. A small handful of raisins might seem harmless, but it equals consuming an entire cluster of grapes without the fiber, without the hydration, and with all sugars condensed. Additionally, most commercial dried fruits are coated with extra sugar or preserved using sulfites, which can trigger conditions like asthma, headaches, and even cause intestinal inflammation. For those in our golden years, particularly those managing type 2 diabetes, hypertension, or digestive issues, these tiny morsels can cause silent damage. They trigger glucose spikes, digestive discomfort, and most concerning, they create a deceptive impression of healthfulness. You believe you're selecting wisely, but your body suffers quiet consequences. And the price? It's the gradual damage from a seemingly healthy daily snack. It's the glucose elevation stressing your cardiovascular system. It's the digestive distress disrupting your rest. It's the fatigue following the sugar rush. Dried fruit may appear beneficial, but for many seniors it becomes an invisible thief, stealing comfort, equilibrium, and metabolic health. Eventually, we must learn to question not just what satisfies our sweet tooth, but what's been processed and marketed to seem beneficial while actually causing harm. Because just as certain fruits can mislead us in dried form, others, still fresh, still whole, can become precisely the medicine our bodies need. So let's focus now on possibilities. The fruits that regenerate, defend, and invigorate even during our 60s, 70s, and beyond. What should you consume weekly to maintain mental clarity, physical strength, and stability? Let's begin with a small blue fruit that could preserve your cognitive function. The 4 essential fruits that can transform your health after 60. Blueberries, a cognitive shield. There's something genuinely remarkable about blueberries. Tiny, modest, and unassuming, they rarely command attention like more vibrant fruits. Yet within each small berry lies one of nature's most powerful gifts, especially for those entering life's later chapters. When memory begins fading and mental clarity occasionally slips away like grains of sand, blueberries offer hope. Not merely comfort, but protection. Science confirms what many intuitively sensed. What we consume influences how we think, remember, and even feel. Among all fruits studied for cognitive benefits, blueberries stand supreme. Rich in anthocyanins, these deep blue pigments don't merely provide color, they function as protectors, crossing the blood-brain barrier to decrease inflammation, enhance neural communication, and defend against oxidative damage that gradually erodes memory and cognitive function. Consistent blueberry consumption has been associated with reduced cognitive decline, improved reasoning ability, and even decreased Alzheimer's risk for seniors. These aren't minor benefits, they're lifelines. They represent extended time recognizing family members' names, more moments of mental clarity during quiet mornings, and greater independence when it matters most. But blueberries' advantages extend beyond cognitive benefits. They also help manage blood pressure, support cardiac health, and contain minimal sugar, making them ideal for diabetics and individuals with heart concerns. Just a simple half-cup daily added to yogurt, oatmeal, or eaten plain can create meaningful differences. In our medication-focused world, we often forget that some of the most effective remedies grow naturally. Blueberries demonstrate this. They don't merely nourish, they protect, restore, and gently preserve what's most valuable, your mind. And if this small blue fruit can enhance your memory, consider what a crisp, fiber-rich apple might do for heart protection, explaining why an apple a day truly might keep the doctor away. 2 apples, the cardiovascular fiber champion. There's inherent wisdom in the adage an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Though it sounds simplistic, even outdated, this common fruit contains truths increasingly relevant for those beyond 60. When our hearts require additional care, our digestion becomes more sensitive, and our bodies demand balance, apples offer powerful protection. In their ordinary form, apples contain abundant soluble fiber, particularly pectin, a fiber type that binds with cholesterol during digestion and helps eliminate it before bloodstream absorption. For seniors, this means apples can actively lower harmful LDL cholesterol, reducing heart attack and stroke risks without additional medication. They're also naturally low-calorie and low-sugar, making them a safe, satisfying snack supporting glucose control and healthy weight maintenance, both crucial for cardiac and joint health later in life. But apples' benefits extend beyond heart protection. Their fiber also promotes digestive health, reducing constipation, a common frustrating issue as we age, while skin antioxidants like quercetin and flavonoids provide anti-inflammatory effects supporting overall wellness, even helping prevent certain cancers and neurodegenerative conditions. Perhaps equally important, apples evoke powerful familiarity, recalling autumn harvests, homemade desserts, and the simple pleasure of a crisp bite on cool days. There's comfort there, and nourishment, both physical and emotional. One easily accessible fruit can quietly influence your health profoundly. So indeed, 1 apple daily genuinely matters, not just for what it provides, but for what it helps your body avoid. And if apples silently guard your heart, consider a fruit that simultaneously nourishes your skeletal system, brain, and skin. It's creamy, nutrient-dense, and frequently misunderstood. Let's discuss avocados. 3 avocados, the healthy fat that sustains your body. Among all table fruits, avocados stand distinct. They lack sweetness, bright coloration, and aren't typically displayed in countertop bowls. Yet for those in our 60s and beyond, avocados transcend mere food. They're fuel for longevity, mental clarity, and physical strength. Rich in monounsaturated fats, avocados provide exactly the fats your aging body requires. Fats that don't obstruct your arteries but instead shield your heart, feed your brain, and reduce harmful cholesterol. They help minimize inflammation throughout your body, alleviating discomfort in aging joints and promoting smoother mobility. For older adults managing heart disease or seeking prevention, this fruit can be transformative, but the advantages extend further. Avocados contain abundant vitamin K, critical for skeletal strength and preventing fractures, something we often overlook until a fall reminds us of our increasing fragility. They also provide folate and potassium, helping control blood pressure, enhance circulation, and lower stroke risk. With their lutein content, a powerful antioxidant, they support ocular health, protecting against macular degeneration and age-related vision deterioration. Beyond scientific benefits, avocados deliver richness not only in texture but in how they impact our well-being. A few slices on whole grain bread, a spoonful alongside fresh greens, it feels like nourishment, not deprivation. At a life stage where numerous foods become prohibited, avocados say, "I'm here to support." not harm. So while others pursue the latest trend or exotic superfood, this creamy green fruit delivers silently, reliably, and profoundly. And if avocados strengthen your bones and sharpen your mind, consider a fruit that not only eases digestion, but also helps reduce inflammation throughout your body, particularly where you feel it most, in your joints. 4. Papaya, the digestive and anti-inflammatory wonder. In a world saturated with over-the-counter antacids, joint remedies, and countless supplements, we easily forget that sometimes the most effective relief comes from the simplest source. Papaya, with its tender golden flesh and tropical sweetness, represents more than just a pleasant treat. It serves as a natural healer, particularly for those in their golden years. As we grow older, digestion becomes more sensitive. Meals once easily tolerated now cause bloating, discomfort, or acid reflux. However, papaya contains papain, a natural enzyme that gently facilitates protein breakdown, reducing strain on your digestive system. For seniors struggling with sluggish digestion, irregularity, or medication side effects, papaya offers not just comfort, but genuine relief. Beyond digestive advantages, papaya is abundant in vitamin C, A, and E, nutrients recognized for boosting immunity, protecting skin, and fighting inflammation, a key factor in chronic conditions like arthritis and cardiovascular disease. For older adults dealing with joint stiffness, inflammation, or immune deficiency, papaya works silently behind the scenes to restore equilibrium and minimize the hidden damage occurring within the body daily. Its texture is smooth, its flavor mild, and its impact significant. It requires no cooking, no preparation, no complexity. Just a few slices daily can nurture your body from within. More than mere sustenance, papaya reminds us that healing doesn't necessarily come from pharmaceuticals. Sometimes it arrives in nature's packaging, ready to serve those prioritizing wellness over temporary solutions. Now that we've examined fruits supporting cognitive function, strengthening cardiovascular health, rebuilding bone tissue, and calming digestion, the question becomes, what happens when you combine these choices? How can you transform them into a simple daily routine that safeguards your future? One bite at a time? Let's discover that next. Your health remains in your control, one bite at a time. As we navigate the later chapters of our lives, a quiet truth emerges with each passing year. We can no longer take our health for granted. Foods we once consumed thoughtlessly, those we grew up with, celebrated with, or simply enjoyed habitually, now carry greater significance. Each bite either delivers healing or contributes to the burden our bodies must bear. But here's the encouraging news. It's never too late for better choices. And sometimes those better choices aren't drastic or difficult. They're as simple as selecting blueberries instead of dried fruit, choosing an apple over sugary snacks, using avocado in place of processed spreads, adding papaya to your morning meal instead of seeking relief through medications. These small decisions made consistently begin building something powerful. A stronger heart, enhanced mental clarity, more stable joints, improved digestion, and most importantly, a sense of authority over your own well-being. That's a gift worth protecting. We must also gracefully and wisely accept that not every food remains appropriate for us. Some fruits, though natural and previously beneficial, may now challenge our aging systems. Grapefruit, bananas, cherries, dried fruits. They aren't inherently harmful, but they demand awareness. They require mindfulness regarding our medications, blood sugar levels, kidney function, and individual health circumstances. And mindfulness isn't fear, it's maturity. It demonstrates respect for the body that has sustained us through the years. Let this serve as a reminder not of restrictions but of abundant possibilities. Nature has provided us with plentiful healing foods, we simply must select them intentionally. Whether you're 60, 70, 80 or beyond, understand this. Your health isn't behind you. It exists right here, right now. In every meal, in every choice. The fruits you welcome into your life can transcend mere nutrition. They can become your allies in longevity, your protectors, your daily demonstration of self-respect. When you nurture your body this way, with knowledge and compassion, you don't merely extend your lifespan, you enhance your quality of life. Because you deserve to age with vitality, dignity, and joy, one mindful bite at a time. These insights are intended to inspire you toward living fully and genuinely. Now I'd appreciate hearing from you. Take a moment for reflection and share one lesson you've learned that you plan to implement in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you found value in this video, please comment with 1. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback is greatly appreciated. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for similar content. Thank you for watching, and here's to living authentically on your own terms.